Hello, friends, and Happy New Year. It is 2026, and I'm so excited. I totally geek out at the start of a new year. I love the practice of leaving things behind in the old year that we don't want to bring with us into the new one, and really looking forward and setting intentions and getting excited about what's to come in the days and the weeks and the months ahead. And in the spirit of that, I wanted to share something with you, my beautiful community, and really lean into the energy of 2026. And I am relying on some of my beautiful oracle cards. If you're not familiar with oracle cards, it's a great way to really tap in to spirit, to your intuition, to yourself, get some really great messages and guidance on anything that's on your heart or on your mind. And I felt really called to go into several decks for this, some that I use every single day that are my tried and trues, and some that I haven't used in a while. So I'm ready to share with you what I've come up with. The first deck I felt called to pull from was Wisdom of the Oracle, Colette Baron Reed. This was my very first Oracle deck years ago. It's a fantastic deck for everyday use because within a lot of these Oracle decks, you get a guidebook. And so when you pull a card, you can read the message on the card. You can also, as I do, really read intuitively to the images on the cards and the words. But this one has a lot of information about the general message of a card, breaks it down into relationships and finances and things of that nature, which goes into a lot of great detail. So great deck if you're interested in Oracle cards. But when I did this pull for this deck, two cards came out, and they are Exchanging Gifts, card number 27, and All That Glitters, card number 16. I really set the intention to let this pull be the general theme of 2026. And these are two really exciting cards that also really pair well together in the way that I interpret these. So Exchanging Gifts, this is really about knowing our own worth, our own value, the things that we came here to do in this lifetime, and also the idea of giving and receiving, right? The yin and the yang, the ebb and the flow, the doing and the being, right? That balance, because it does require both. Some of us are really good at giving for others, but we're not great at receiving. And some of us have a lot of joys and passions that we want to share, but we also don't, we're nervous. We don't know how to get started. We don't know how to do it. And so this is really a call for this year for you to literally kind of come out of the box, be more open with what it is you're passionate about, what you're excited about, the things that you know and that you are feeling called to share with others, big or small, whether it's ideas, whether it's words of love and wisdom, or whether it's a business venture, and really focusing in on the balance of that relationship too, knowing that everything is healthier in balance, right? The giving and the receiving, the doing and the being, allowing others to support you, right? It is that energetic exchange that happens. And the cool thing about the All That Glitters cards, that card that sort of relates to this card is really about what is true, and specifically what is true for you. Think about the saying, all that glitters is not gold, right? So what does that saying mean? Just because it looks good on the outside doesn't necessarily mean that it is, right? Or something can be hiding behind a mask. Like, what's really underneath that beautiful facade, that shiny surface, that mask? And the way I interpret this related to this card in particular is, when it comes to being our own authentic self, when it comes to looking at the things that give us joy, the ways that we share our passions, that we get excited, I did a lot of this in 2025, really reflecting on my own intention behind those things. Why do I want something? If there's something I've been working toward for a while, really looking at the layers of why? What do I think I'm going to get when I get that thing? How am I going to feel? Who am I going to be? How is my life going to be different than it is now? So why am I working toward this thing, right? And sometimes when we do that, our perspective really changes, and we notice that maybe there's a goal we've had, or something we wanted to bring to fruition, something we wanted to call into our experience, that when we really look at the layers, we either don't want it anymore, the intentions for having it aren't maybe that aligned anymore. Maybe it's something society said, hey, this is what success looks like. And so you need to have that in order to be valued, in order to be respected. And, just peeling away the layers really looking at the underneath and doing your own inner assessment of why it is you do what you do, why it is you desire what you desire, and just getting to the heart of it. Just more being in tune with the self and with the heart. I think this is a fantastic theme for 2026. The next thing I did in relation to this is going to one of my new favorite decks, Soul Coaching by Denise Linn. This is a very practical deck. And when I pulled from this in support of what this theme was about, 2 cards also came out as well. The first one was Passion, card number 36. How much more perfectly could this be paired with these? I don't think any more perfectly. This is all about really living through our own passion, not only finding what excites us, but allowing that to be our compass, to be our guide, to looking for the excitement, the beauty, the fun that life has to offer, and going for it, right? Letting that guide us. So when it comes to exchanging our gifts and really understanding what it is we're seeking and why, it's a beautiful reminder here of that. The other card that came out from this deck is the beauty card, card number 6. And of course, we think of beauty, we think, oh yeah, all the magnificent things, the external beauty around us, all the beautiful gifts and miracles that happen all the time. Specifically, if you were to refer to the card deck booklet for this card really talks about the self. And actually, this deck has some really great affirmations that go along with each card. And the affirmation for this one is, I am deeply and profoundly beautiful. So this is really about self-love, remembering who we are, what gives us value, remembering to speak and think very highly and honorably of ourselves, knowing that the way that we think and the way that we speak of ourselves or anything is what creates our reality. So just that reminder to care for ourselves, love, honor, respect ourselves, just as we would anybody else. Sometimes we're the hardest one to take care of, and sometimes we need that message for self. In going to another deck, I went in for the Healing Energy Oracle. I love this deck. I use it every day because it has a beautiful light code on it that you can really look at. I'm covering this up on purpose so you can get kind of the energy of the light from this card. And this one is Shining Light. And the message says, my desire to improve myself transforms fear into strength. I raise my thoughts above doubt and find faith in the goodness of the universe. I love and accept myself as a soul, and I discover the light that dwells in me. So again, absolutely perfect to go along with our beauty card, with the passion card, the way that we are being called to be in service, in expression of our love, our talents, our gifts this year. And again, behind it all, through our own inner light, remembering that it is the beauty within us that guides everything. And that's ultimately our connection with the universe. When we love and accept ourselves, miracles happen for us, right? That's when all the beauty unfolds. The next deck I pulled from is a great Rebecca Campbell deck, Work Your Light. I love this deck. I actually love the color scheme of this deck in particular, but really beautiful, powerful messages here. And the card that came up was Anna, grandmother of Jesus. And the message is seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I love this. My grandmother's actually name is Anna. So I love that that's also Jesus's grandmother's name. And the cool thing about this card is it's a reminder that someone like the grandmother of Jesus, who we don't hear much about, right? We hear about his mother, Mary, but we don't hear as much about her. And this is a reminder that even when we are doing our own work, our own inner work, our own work within the world, again, sharing our gifts and talents, sometimes we're planting seeds. Sometimes what we are doing is laying the foundation, building the bridge for what's to come far beyond us. It's kind of like that beautiful idea of the butterfly effect. When a butterfly flaps its wings, it impacts its current environment, but then that spreads and spreads and spreads in a way that that singular butterfly will never know, experience, or understand. And this is a beautiful reminder that what we do, how we live, how we are, how we treat people, is so, so powerful and lives on far beyond what we'll ever know or grasp, even if it's as simple as an act of kindness, a compliment, a smile to a stranger, or giving support or kindness to someone who needs it in the moment. We don't always know how deeply that can impact someone and how that could change someone's life in an instant. And so this is a beautiful reminder of that. The next card that I drew was from a deck I don't use very often. I love Kyle Gray. I absolutely love his decks. I have several. There are a few more that we're going to use today. This one is Angelic Activations. It's a really great deck because not only does it have the image of the card that you draw, but on the backside, it's got the text right there on it that you can read. So it's really quick and easy. The card that I drew is the Miriam, and that would be this. And it's activating, healing the heart. And the message says, this is a sacred time of healing. In order for you to feel whole once more, it's essential for you to reclaim all the lost parts of yourself. Call back all the aspects of yourself, all the gifts and talents. Didn't we already hear that? That you have been forced to hide or repress. By unleashing these tender aspects of your deeper self, you allow your heart to rebuild and strengthen. And the activation is, I reclaim myself and my story. I am ready for wholeness. And again, this is just a beautiful addition to the messages that have already come in, again, about that self-love, the self-care, really the appreciation and honor of the self, and knowing that everything we do is on track. There's no such thing as being off track. There's no such thing as, divine timing is just not working out for us. Everything's happening for us. One of my favorite affirmations is the universe is conspiring in my favor, right? We're always supported. And really, it's always a return to the heart and just being in our own authenticity, sharing our vision, sharing our gifts and talents is what it's all about. The last couple of cards that I drew are from a few other Kyle Gray decks, and this is one of my favorites as well, the Divine Masters. This is a great deck that I like to pull from whenever I'm leaning into a message. So the message of what we're talking about today, sharing our gifts, looking beyond the layers of why it is we want what we want, getting more deeply connected with the self, more self-appreciation, love, being authentic and true to the self. So when we pull from this deck, we can ask for a divine master to come forward and really support us in anchoring in this lesson and this information into our life. Show us how we can do this. Come on board and help me figure this out, right? So the card that I pulled is Mother Mary. I thought that was great considering the other card was also related to Jesus, right? So now we have Mother Mary herself coming forward. Miraculous encounter. Divine experiences. Don't be afraid of being powerful. So talk about the ultimate divine feminine, right? If we think about Jesus as the divine masculine, Mother Mary as the divine feminine, again, that exchanging gifts card is all about that sacred balance, right? Those two elements making things whole. And so this is saying, first of all, miraculous encounter, expect miracles. Everything's happening for you. Miracles is actually the word I've chosen for 2026 as my own personal theme. So I love that this came forward. Don't be afraid of being powerful. And I see this as, when I think of powerful, because I love the word power and powerful. And that word can be misconstrued, I think, in our society. We think of people of power, of abusing power, right? But our power is really our inner power. It's our light. It's the way that we see things. It's our perspective. It's, the wisdom and the knowledge and the gifts that we're here to share. So this is saying, step forward, do it, be you and be bold. Expect things to work out your way. When you are in your light and doing your thing, there's nothing that can stop you. And even though every single moment that we experience doesn't always give us exactly what we want in the package we would have requested if we had ordered that on Amazon and we open and go, that's not what we ordered, right? We don't always get the experience exactly the way we vision it, but it's always for us. And a lot of times it's even greater than we could have imagined, right? So Mother Mary's coming in this year to support you energetically in really stepping into the heart and the self and being true and doing more of what you came here to do, even if that's just living your personal joy, having more fun, laughing more, because I firmly believe our number one objective of coming into this body on this planet is to love life and to follow our joy. And that when we do that, everything else falls into place. And a lot of times we get distracted with the to-dos and the shoulds and, the obligations and all the things on our plate. And that takes over. And the joy goes to the back burner. And this is all a beautiful invitation to return to the joy, return to the heart, return to self, and live that way and let everything else fall into place after that. Our very last card to anchor it in, to sum it up, is again another Kyle Gray deck that I use every single day. You can see how worn the box is, the writing's rubbing off of it. The Angel Guide Oracle. I love using this to tap in to my team of light, my beautiful angels, my spirit guides, my ancestors, everyone in spirit that supports me. I love pulling from this deck every day and just asking for a message. What's my theme today? And so as I pulled from this deck for our reading for 2026, it was, help me anchor this in, help me, give me a message, give me a sign that I can connect to of how this will roll out in my life. If I can embody the message that's being presented here and the opportunity to live this way, what can I expect for me? And this is a good one. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Blessings and abundance, right? I mean, what else could you ask for? And I've found in my life, the more I spend time becoming me, and unbecoming aspects that were never me to begin with, or were distorted versions of what I thought I wanted and why I thought I wanted it and when and how and all the, the script of life I had sort of planned. The more I've leaned in and let those things unravel and really listened to my heart and my soul and really paid attention to my energy and what was giving me more energy and what was taking away my energy in terms of people and places and to-dos and things like that. I really have come to understand this very, very deeply, that when we take the time to go inward and to connect with our own spirit, our own heart, that's when blessings and abundance pour in. The more we live from our true heart, the more everything else lines up to show us how fun and amazing that can be. So if anything, in 2026, I'm wishing you so much abundance, so many blessings, inward and outward, from, every possible way that can come in, whether that's from your relationships, from your career, your work, your business ventures, your travels, all the things that you're creating and experiencing, your health. Wishing all of the best for you in 2026. I am feeling inspired this year to do a shorter card pull, but a reading each week. So if this is something you're excited about tuning into, feel free to follow my channel on YouTube, where each Sunday I will be sharing a card reading that will gear you up for the week ahead. Wishing you many blessings, so much abundance in 2026, and I look forward to seeing you soon, friends. Bye for now.